All right. Good morning, beloveds. Um, I'm a little bit of a mess this morning because I know I've shared with you recently my schedule has changed. So instead of going to the gym on Wednesday, I used to go to gym on Monday. Then Tom started working out with me. So then we switched to Wednesdays. And then due to life shifts, my trainer moved us to Sunday. So I now go to the gym at 7 o'clock in the morning on Sunday before service, which meant I needed to shift my day of rest because the day of rest from physical activity is very important, which I talk about that. So now my day of rest is Friday. And it's just weird. And so there's just a lot going. Yeah. And I still can't decide if I want my glasses on or glasses off. But in about a week and a half, I will have the other eye fixed, which will probably make my live streams weird for a couple of days. I'm giving up my near vision for distance vision because reading glasses are going to be a whole lot easier than the Coke bottom glasses that I have worn most of my life. I was in 3rd grade when I started wearing glasses. And I'm not joking when I say that I was legally blind without my glasses. One of the most interesting things that has happened since I've had one eye corrected, my left eye has been corrected because of the cataract, and it gave me the distance vision, is now if I misplace my glasses, like at night when I put them down, if they fall off my end table, I don't panic anymore. Because if I lose my glasses, I can't see, but now I can. It's just weird because, one eye, I've got good distance vision in one eye and the other one is still near. We make choices though. So, all right. It is November. I'm pretty sure it's November 2nd. Yeah, it's November 2nd. Our title is I Am Growing. Our first quote is, "The hour has come that the child of people should be glorified." Yeah, that one didn't gender neutral very well. It says the Son of Man shall be glorified. So, that is John 12:23. The second quote is, "We grow in power and theoretically, there should be no limit to that growth." I am on an infinite journey of self-development and unfoldment. I am ever moving upward into a higher level of understanding and expression. I intend to grow all my life. I have infinite potential. I am an expanding being. There is no limit to my capacity for knowing and being. I move constantly towards the goal of total being. Since I can only be what I know, I set about the business of learning more so I can be more. So I can be my highest and best at all times. I have worthy aims and goals. There is much to do, and I accomplish much. I surrender all false ego and embrace the true ego, my selfhood in God. As my awareness of reality grows, I grow with it. I am constantly assuming greater stature. I am a big person in every respect. I experience constant growth in consciousness. The more my mind grows, the more I grow. The more I know, the more I am. The more I am, the greater good I can do. The more good I do, the more I am doing God's work. The more I do God's work, the closer I come to fulfilling my purpose for living. My soul builds more stately mansions in which to dwell. Soul growth is true growth. My soul is moving ever upward towards recognizing its true individuality in the realm of spirit. My vision is upward. My imagination is rich and fertile with spiritual realization and awareness. I am inspired by the vistas before me. Okay, and that is DC. I don't remember who DC is, and I've been working on the YouTube channel, so I keep carrying the books around, the parts of the book around, because it's in like 3 pieces now. All right, DC Donald Curtis. Donald Curtis. Okay. So that's who DC is. And so I'm immediately inspired by two things. First being the sacrificing of the ego. Okay. So the ego is not a bad thing. All right. Your ego has a very specific job. Your ego is meant to preserve your life. The problem with that can be with the ego, surprise, is that the ego is only concerned with your life and will do things at the expense of every other life. All right. So you see where the problem is. So the ego should never drive. All right. The ego has a place. The ego has a job. The ego is very important. You do not want to sacrifice your ego. You just don't want to let your ego drive. Your ego should be in the passenger seat or the back seat. And we all know how we feel about backseat drivers, right? So the ego is not allowed to drive. The ego is there to give you information. And what you have to do with the ego is say, yes, I've received your information. I will take it under advisement. You have done your job. You have done your job good. And then you take the information and use the information, to make the decisions that you need to make. Okay. So the ego is important. And that's why he says, I sacrifice my false ego for the true ego. All right. Your ego is important, but don't let it be a backseat driver. The other thing is because he's talking about growing. When you hit a certain level of experience, and that's what we were talking about, we were talking to customers Betsy and I were talking to a customer the other day, and she said, wisdom comes with age. And that's not exactly true. All right. Wisdom comes with experience, because what wisdom is knowledge applied. And that's what experience is. Okay. So the more you learn and the more you use, so it's not just about learning. You meet these people who are wonderfully book smart. They have all of this knowledge, but have they ever applied it? Okay. And that is the benefit of getting out and doing. So it's like, you can have all of the knowledge you want, but are you applying it? Because that's where wisdom comes from. Wisdom comes from that experience of applying the knowledge that you have. So then there's this phenomenon where people come up to you, and they ask you a question, and you don't have to think about the answer. Okay. Because you have been applying your knowledge, you have been working on your information. So this answer comes flowing out of you, and it's a good answer, and it's a right answer. And then you immediately want to second guess yourself. Don't second guess yourself. Because if you have been out there learning more knowledge and then applying that knowledge, having those experiences, you have accrued wisdom. And the beautiful thing about that wisdom, especially when you are open to the divine wisdom, is that the answer will come to you and you can't show your work. Okay. We all had math teachers show your work, right? It's like, you've got the answer and you know in your heart of hearts, in your gut, it's the right answer, but you can't show your work because you have been applying your knowledge. Okay. And that is what growth is about. Growth is definitely about acquiring more knowledge. But it's also about going out and applying that knowledge, getting that experience, which transforms into wisdom. All right. So read all of the books that you like, but make sure that you are going out and doing. All right. Go and do, and go and have random and weird and wonderful experiences, because you will grow in amazing different directions that you hadn't expected, because you've learned something new. It's like, knowledge is wonderful, but until you apply it. All right. So go out and apply your knowledge. Go out and have experiences. Go out and not all of them are going to be pleasant, and that's okay. That's okay. Because sometimes we learn more from unpleasant experiences than we do from pleasant experiences, but don't go seeking unpleasant experiences. But when you have unpleasant experiences, don't think that it's a bad thing. Don't think that you've done something wrong. You're learning something. And maybe what you're learning is how to avoid doing that again. But go have experiences. I used to say I would try anything once. I've now hit an age of I will try most things once. There are going to be occasionally things that people are going to be like, do you want to try this? And I'm going to be like, no. And that's a complete sentence. So, I am growing. I love that I'm growing. And I love the fact that you can continue to grow for your entire life. Go out, have those experiences, make memories, increase your experience, increase your wisdom, increase your knowledge. Keep on going. It's wonderful. All right. I love this one. And because it's all one affirmation, one treatment. It's wonderful. Okay. And I like the fact that the first line, I don't know what to do with the quotes. Oh, well, okay. I don't know what to do with the quote from John, but the quote from The Science of Mind. We grow in power and theoretically, I don't know why I'm having so much trouble with that word today. There should be no limit on growth. There is. The only limit on growth is the one we ourselves put on it. All right. So I am on an infinite journey of self-development and unfoldment. I'm not sure unfoldment is a word, but it is Ernest's word. And so we are going to go with it. I am ever moving upward into higher levels of understanding and expression. I intend to grow all my life. All right. Right there. That is the mission today. Should we choose to accept it, is to grow for our entire lives, to keep doing the spiritual work and to keep doing the regular stuff too, It's like, if you're not learning, what are you doing? And you don't have to learn heavy, weighty spiritual stuff all the time. You can learn silly, fun stuff. Like there's this new craze. I think it's been around for a couple of years called pickleball. Am I going to go learn pickleball? No, not right now. Not until my knees have decided that they're okay. But that would be something new to learn. It would be fun. Do you want to pick up a new hobby? Or re-pick up an old hobby? It's not just about, the older you get, you don't have to get more spiritual. You can, and I encourage that, but go learn fun stuff too. I intend to grow for my entire life. That means I'm going to embrace all kinds of new and different experiences, which will bring more and more wisdom and more knowledge. Remember, wisdom is knowledge applied, which is experience. Okay. And I like that the statement, I have infinite potential. Okay. You have infinite potential. You have access to everything divine. Now, that does mean regular spiritual practice. That does mean regular treatment practice. That does mean regular meditation practice. Because remember, treatment is when we talk to God and meditation is when we listen. There is no limit on our capacity for knowing and being. None. The only limits are the limits we ourselves put on ourselves or the limits that we accept from others. Okay? We don't have to accept their limits. So, I move constantly towards the goal of total being. All right. So, since I can only be what I know, I said about the business of learning more so I can be more. Like I said, go have experiences. Go have random and wonderful and weird experiences. And feel free to look up the definition of weird. And in this case, spell it W-Y-R-D. Have those kind of experiences. They're fun. It's coming up on Halloween, so that one's appropriate. Okay. So I can be my highest and best at all times. That takes practice, because practice makes permanent. And he says, I have worthy aims and goals. There's much to do, but I'm going to accomplish much. And remember what I said about the ego. The ego has a job. So sacrifice that false ego Embrace that true ego, the divine ego, and remember that it is a backseat passenger. And we know how we feel about backseat drivers, remember? Okay, so listen to the ego, but don't let it drive. All right. I experience constant growth in consciousness. The more my mind grows, the more I grow, the more I know, the more I am, the greater good I can do. The more good I can do, the more I am doing God's work. All right. So the more we know, the more we can do, the more we can do, the more good we can do, the more good we can do, the more of God's work we're doing. All right. And the more God's work we do, the closer we come to fulfilling our purpose for living. What is our purpose for living? Our purpose for living is to go out and experience the world. And anything beyond that is what you make of it. All right. So remember, what did I say the mission for today was? To grow. To recognize that we are on an infinite journey of self-development and unenfoldment. That's the mission. And the great thing about that mission is it can look like whatever. Whatever. There is no set path. There's no set path. You get to go and have all of the experiences you want. You get to go and learn anything and everything that you want. That's what we're here to do. To have experiences and to increase the wisdom. The more wisdom we have, the more wisdom the divine has, the more access everybody who has access to the divine, which everybody has access to the divine, has. So that's the mission today. The other mission is the same mission I give you every day, which is to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. I really love today's reading. I think Donald Curtis did an amazing job. So, loving, kind, compassionate, whatever that looks like, i.e., today is my day of rest. I let myself sleep in. I have not physically engaged my mind and my body, which I'm about to suggest you do. But you got to take one day off. At least one day. All right? Rest those muscles. Allow your body to have a day where you don't push it to the limits of its physical, nature. So, loving, kind, compassion. It is about self-care. You cannot pour from an empty cup, but it's also about making sure that you are enjoying life. I'm talking about having experiences. Well, joyful experiences are amazing too. Yes, we can learn from difficult experiences, but we can learn a lot from joyful experiences too, especially when we can pull other people into those joyful experiences. So, go and have a really amazing meal, invite somebody with you, and make sure that y'all engage all 5 senses in that amazing meal. Or take somebody to coffee and really enjoy that cup of coffee and enjoy the good conversation. Joyful experiences are amazing to learn from as well. All right. So loving, kind, compassion, practice on yourself because you deserve your own love. You deserve your own kindness. You deserve your own compassion. Practice on yourself. Create that bank so that when things go weird and we have difficult experiences that we are learning from, we have the capacity to learn from them because we have this bank of love and kindness and compassion. All right. When we have that bank to draw from in difficult experiences, then we can take the lesson on and we don't have to repeat them. All right. So that's my soapbox for today. All right. Love, kindness, compassion. You are a beloved child of God. You deserve your own love, kindness, and compassion. I'll remember that. And you remember that as well. All right. So here's the things that I do say. Make sure that you do something to engage your mind and your body today. It does not have to be physical exercise if it is a day of rest. But get up and get moving. Make sure you drink plenty of water. It's still hot here, so drink plenty of water. Hydration is important. And if you're somewhere where it's colder, warm water. That can look like coffee or tea. Please also, get that early in your day bright light. That will reset your circadian rhythms. It will improve your energy during the day, your sleep at night. This is what we're talking about. It's science. Okay. And then open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you, you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around you all the time because it is an inside out job. It is an inside out job. Happiness comes from the inside. Heaven comes from the inside. We go within. We fill up on that heaven energy. We bring it out. We create it into the world around us. That is our superpower. And each and every one of us has it. All right. So take Emma's advice. Look for the good and praise it. I'm all about that. All right. I've said all right. I don't know how many times, but it is what it is, right? So catch us on all the social medias. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center or Creative Life Spark, depending. I am the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. And I would encourage you to email info@creativelife.org. That will get you on the constant contact. That way you can have access to the hot links that'll get you to the requests for the classes that we're doing, the book studies that we're doing, anything else going on. Because, I hear there's a show coming up. It's in October, but hey, it's September already. So it's not too early. Okay. Yeah, I think that's what I know. So I'm going to encourage you to go out and have this experience called a great day, a wondrous day, a magical day, an enchanting day, a fantastical day, a wondrous day, an enchanting day, a Friday, because it's Friday this year. If you're watching this another year, well, whatever day it is. A sunny day, a stay dry this afternoon day, because the thunderstorms are moving in, a taking care of business so that we can enjoy the Labor Day weekend, because Monday is Labor Day, and a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day because you are enough just as you are. All right, beloveds, remember who you are. Okay, the good day. That's too much pressure. Simply have the day. All right. Okay. I think that's what I know. So Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you around 9 a.m. I'm going to the park tomorrow. I also have a dentist appointment, so I got to find out what the timing in that is. But I will be on. Don't worry. I'll get you taken care of. And know that you're loved. You are a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased, always and forever. Please remember that. It is a state of grace. All right? That means it's granted. And it can't be taken away. You don't have to earn it. So just be who you are. All right? I will see you next time.